The strange arithmetic of compassion. By the time you've been alive long enough to feel the cold ache of real loneliness, the kind that sets in like fog and makes the edges of your own body feel unsure, if you are fortunate, you have stumbled upon the solution of sorts. Not comfort, not distraction, not even love, but service. The unaccountable instinct to reach outward when every inward signal says we're breaking. It makes no sense, not if you're the sort who wants life to balance out on a spreadsheet. Why would giving fix what's been taken? How does spending what little emotional energy we have end up returning energy? On what scale, by what mechanism, does the universe reward the act of helping someone else when we are most in need of help ourselves? It's a paradox, and like all true paradoxes, it reveals something deeper than logic. It reveals the hidden architecture of being alive. Let's start with the mechanics. When you feel abandoned, the world shrinks. You collapse inward. Your thoughts double back on themselves like vines in a box. Why doesn't anyone see me? Where is everyone? Why am I the one left behind? These questions, once they start repeating, feed on their own echo. They become a closed loop. Helping someone else is the hammer that breaks the loop. It forces you to re-engage with the world as if it still matters, even if in that moment you believe it doesn't. You have to orient your attention outward. You have to see another human being, not as an abstraction, not as a source of comfort, but as a need. And when you respond to that need, you re-enter the ecosystem of meaning. You rejoin the living. Of course, the modern world doesn't make this easy. We're trained in therapeutic language and self-care mantras. Take time for you. Put your oxygen mask on first. And while these have their place, true burnout is real, there's a point at which such messages begin to twist into a dangerous lie, that the self is a sealed vessel to be filled and guarded until full. But the human soul was never meant to be a sealed vessel. It's more like a well. Use it and the water runs fresh. Hoard it and it stagnates. This is not just spiritual metaphor. It's physiology. Neurochemical studies show that acts of altruism trigger dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, the very chemicals our bodies struggle to produce during states of depression or grief. So there is a biological logic to compassion. It activates what despair shuts down. But biology, helpful as it is, doesn't explain why the system is built this way. Why would nature reward a person who is already hurting for extending beyond their wound? Wouldn't it make more sense to shut us down and keep us still until we're better? But maybe being better isn't the point. Maybe connecting is. Consider the math. When I hurt and you hurt, there are two units of suffering. Separate, isolated, heavy. But if in that moment I choose to serve you, call it a kindness, a favor, a presence, even a word, I break the symmetry. Now I am not just a unit of pain. I am a bridge. And in that moment, the suffering doesn't just divide, it transforms. Helping you lifts me because it makes my pain useful. That's the real logic behind the phenomenon, utility. Not in the economic sense, but the existential one. When you are alone, your pain feels meaningless. It's inert. But when your pain becomes the reason you notice someone else's, when it becomes the lens that sharpens your empathy, it earns its place. Suffering, once given a job, becomes bearable. Sometimes it even becomes sacred. And that's the dangerous beauty of the whole thing. We don't pull each other out of the abyss by offering answers. We do it by offering presence. We don't need to fix each other. We just need to refuse to let each other vanish. When I reach for your hand in the dark, not to beg for help, but to offer mine, I am asserting without words that you are real, and so am I. I am not only giving light, I am proving that light still moves. That's why the paradox works. That's why helping you helps me, because in that instant we break the illusion that we are separate. We remember, however briefly, that our souls were never solitary. They were always communal fire. So the next time the fog comes and it tells you to disappear, don't wait for someone to find you. Go find someone else. Put your hand on their shoulder, wash their dishes, sit beside their bed, tell them a stupid joke, offer the smallest mercy. And watch how the room gets warmer. Not just for them, but for you.